Watches Piers Morgan destroys, I believe her name is Emma Raducanu. Wow, that's probably wrong, but it's a female tennis player, and she is basically saying you don't need a man in your life. You can do it all yourself. And this is what Piers Morgan has to say.
Good evening from London. Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored. I'm going to tell you a little story. It's about an advertising campaign so helplessly woke and absurd, but I'm convinced it was designed specifically to irritate me. Not long ago, in a large glass building filled with smug people and kale smoothies, the marketing team at HSBC commissioned a children's author to rewrite 3 classic fairy tales. You might well think that's an unusual thing for a bank to do. If you're sitting comfortably, I'll allow them to explain. With financial attitudes shaped as early as 5 years old, the new book challenges traditional gender stereotypes, it says. At this point, I've already lost track, really, of exactly why the bank is rewriting fairy tales or what any of it has got to do with gender stereotypes. But it gets worse. The book, called Fairer Tales, reimagines Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty and Rapunzel as successful businesswomen. Prince Charming is inevitably erased as the main character. He's a prince and he's charming. But apparently that's not enough. The marketing geniuses decided to pay tennis player Emma Raducanu to read the stories for reasons which remain unclear. This is how it went.
Ace, where have you been? The boys and girls are here and they're waiting to hear the 3 tales about money. My name's Emma and this is Ace. We have a fantastic story for you today. Now, the story may seem like one you know, but the characters in it are a little bit different.
It's hard to believe, but the tennis ball exchanging hilarious banter with Emma Raducanu in the video is not real. It's CGI, and believe it or not, Emma is a tennis player, not an actor. But let's not distract from the powerful core message.
So in the end, the princesses didn't need a prince to save them. They set up their own businesses, saved their money, and then spent it very wisely. Thanks to our princesses, Ace has learnt some new money skills. Maybe you'll buy a tower one day, or set up your own shoe business, or any business you want. Now that you've learned how to save and spend money, you can do anything.
Of course, as we all know, the best way to improve the aspirations of women is by trashing men. And as Emma says, women don't need men at all. She certainly never needed any men, as far as we know, to get where she is today, except, well, a father, of course, who manages her career and, well, fathered her. And then there are her 5 coaches, who so far have all been male. Or Max Eisenbud, her agent, who apparently is very, very good at maximising her earning potential, despite being a man. And then a final twist of this dastardly tale of virtue signalling treachery. It turns out the chairman, chief executive and chief financial officer on HSBC's board of directors are all men too. Well, joining me now is Talk TV contributor Esther Cracker, associate editor of the Mirror, Kevin Maguire, and socialist author Grace Blakely. Grace.
You know, it's sad because you know she's only doing that, like, commercial or whatever that was, because she's probably getting $10 million. Like, people just sell out for money, like, instantly. Like, they don't care about anything but money. And then, as Piers Morgan points out, everybody in her life is a man and helped her where she got to today and is helping her now. So, I mean, honestly, he's right.
I don't know where to start with this. I mean, apart from the fact that as a man, let me just offer Miss Raducanu some advice. I think she's great. And when she won the US Open, it was amazing. But she hasn't won a shoebox since then. And I think she's spending too much time on this commercial stuff and not enough time on the court. That's my personal view as a man. Take it, leave it,
Piers,
trash it, whatever you want.
I think you're missing, actually, the most important part of this story, right? Which isn't like the big man versus women battle that we're all supposed to take a side in. It's the fact that HSBC is a massive international, bank that has frequently been accused of things like money laundering. It was accused of money laundering for Mexican drug cartels. It was accused of supporting tax avoidance and evasion. It's frequently threatened the government of the UK to relocate to another part of the world if we say do something like raise tax on corporations, or if we start regulating the financial sector properly. And this is basically an attempt at kind of pinkwashing. It's saying, don't look at all the terrible things that we've been embroiled in over the last several decades. Don't look at the fact that we're basically trying to undermine democracy by telling you what laws you can and can't pass. Just look at the fact that we've done a nice, pretty little fairy tale. And oh, by the way, if you're a woman and you start a business, then that's great. And that makes you a good woman. Feminism isn't for people who don't get the chance to start.
And it certainly isn't a great thing to be a woman at HSBC, where the vast majority of the people that run the bank are actually men. I mean, that's the problem with this. It's a bit like Barbie, the movie. It's a bit like all these things. There's a kind of subtext here of, well, men are pointless and annoying, and you should never not just rely on them, but have them in your life. Just expunge men from the world, and all will be fine.
Well, yes, but I think that we should be more concerned with why a bank or any business feels the need to actually do this. I don't remember asking HSBC what they think about fairy tales or women in business or anything like that. Why can't they just be a business? Why do businesses feel the need to lecture us or take a particular political position as if we need them as our moral arbiters or anything?
I totally agree. I mean,
Kevin,
Kevin, we've seen this time and again now. Companies just doing these woke advertising campaigns, none of which work. Right, there's an immediate backlash from all their customers who don't like this kind of thing. I think it's a growing number of people, whether you're Bud Light or Gillette when they played this stunt or any of these others. Now we have this. It's not going to work. It's not going to achieve what they think it is. People aren't going to go, fantastic HBC. They're either going to say what Grace said, which is, you're just a bunch of flaming hypocrites, or they're going to say, stop talking to me about this stuff. Just make my bank do its job. Be a banker.
That's why I love it, because it backfires. It is entirely cynical by this bank, which, look, you open a business with them, you can't keep up your repayments on a loan, and they'll have you. They'll have the shirt off your back, they'll have your handbag, your shoes, they'll have your house, they'll have every last penny you've got. But somehow, there's a whole industry convincing them they should do this. And whoever's doing it, a good luck to the advertising people who get them to do this nonsense.
Can I just say, kudos to Emma Raducanu's agent for actually getting her this gig, because she's a terrible actress. Yeah. She looks like as wooden as a board, and she doesn't even believe what she's reading.
I think there is an important underlying story here, right, which is the reason that we've had this explosion in kind of, greenwashing, pinkwashing, things like ethical consumption, is that most people realise that the system we live in is incredibly unfair. They want to, do things to prevent climate breakdown. They want to do things to support, equal rights and prevent, the economy from privileging certain people over others. And corporations are basically trying to make money out of this. Yeah. Just like they're making money out of the climate, dying. Just like they're making money out of the gap between...
It's so true what they're saying. All these companies, Bud Light, Target, if you play video games like Activision, they're all adding these weird... like transgender things, women things, and just trying all these things, and it backfires every single time. Look at Disney. I mean, one of the biggest companies for like the last 20 years, they start doing this crap, and everybody hates Disney. Nobody watches Disney stuff anymore. I don't know, but let me know what you think.